How can you use Facebook ads, Google search, and YouTube ads to improve your campaigns? Well, the answer and useful tips coming up. Today we actually break down how you can leverage this and combine the power of the top most used social media platforms, like the ones I mentioned, Facebook, Google, obviously a #1 search engine, to your advantage as a business owner, as an entrepreneur who's looking to get in front of your target audience so you can start scaling your accounts successfully with YouTube ads, okay? Now, depending on the type of product or service that you have and the need to market, there are plenty of ways that you can go about it these days. Again, there's word of mouth, referrals, but those may not be enough if you're looking to scale to 6 or 7 figures, like I mentioned. Just ask Amazon and Alibaba, right? These companies, they're leveraging the most of the digital ecosystems that are out there to show up in front of these individual users, okay? We've already mentioned them at the beginning. Again, we have display campaigns all across the web, programmatic, we have the native advertising, Google search, and of course, video advertising on social media platforms. And ultimately, we're talking about YouTube ads, right? That's what we do. So today we're going to cover one of the basic yet most important things that many media buyers do ignore or they fail to do when they start with YouTube ads. And one of these things is going to be crucial, to basically laying down the foundation to scaling your campaigns, okay? To firstly ensuring that Google is going out and finding those people that are potentially more likely to convert than others, right? So that's the end goal with any offer. Whenever you're advertising online, you want to understand how the algorithm works, how these platform works. Obviously, we can't understand 100% of it because there's still the bidding aspect of it is still a secret in terms of Google. Like, nobody knows how the auction works, but there's obviously different, let's say, directives that you can take, different guidelines, there's support docs, and obviously a lot of training that you can follow in order to ensure that you're doing the best you can from a media buying standpoint to let Google know, right? As we know, again, this is an algorithmic platform, that you're looking for this ideal customer, okay? One way that you can do this is by creating audience definitions inside Google Analytics. We're gonna show you how to do this right inside Analytics here. We're just gonna use an example and how you can leverage this inside Google Ads. All right, so we're just gonna dive right in. Again, we're gonna create some audience definitions so you can see how we can import these into your Google Ads account. That way you can target specific visitors that may have seen your Facebook ad or visited specific content on your page, right? So that way you have a little bit more control instead of just targeting a broad, warm audience, especially if you're running traffic from other sources. So this is how you can leverage this. Let's dive right into the Google Analytics right here. What you want to do is you want to go to Admin, okay, and then right in the property section in the middle here, one of the important things that you want to look at is ensuring that your Google Ads is linked, right? So you want to ensure that the Google Ads is linked to your Google Analytics account, okay? Because here, this is what's going to ensure that you can create these remarketing audiences, okay? All right, so again, going back, go down here where it says Audience Definitions. All right, you want to go to Audiences. All right, and here we go. And this is where you can actually create some specifics. So we already have some, so I'll go ahead and show you. For example, we have an audience definition based on all users. Okay, and we can look right in here, the source. This is basically taken from the all website data view. Okay, and then the way that we set this up is we want to target users that have been inside, that have visited in the last 7 days, essentially. Okay, so this is one way of going about it. All right. Now, let's see if we can create one here together. go back to audiences page. New audience. Okay. So this is where a lot of the tips that we've covered in the previous videos come in handy. Sorry. So, for example, if you have a Facebook funnel where it's only Facebook, right? It's only Facebook, and you have analytics installed on that Facebook funnel, then what you can do is you can actually just create audiences that are only Facebook ads driven, right? People who they visited your site, but they've only come from your Facebook ads. So there's definitely a couple of things to take into account before you create these audience definitions, right? So in this particular case, like we just have the all website data here, and you could actually get a little granular with this. And here we go. Look, so we actually have a Facebook one. So as you can see, these are people that, for example, come from the source Facebook. Okay. Obviously, we haven't ran some Facebook ads as of late, but this normally changes, and it'll give us some user data. But that's what I'm saying. So like, if you're active on Facebook, you're running ads on Facebook, then you will be able to import a segment. If you have this set up properly, right, you should be able to see who's coming from Facebook, right? So you'll want to create these segments, okay? If you don't have any segments here, then you can create a new one, right? And you can go to your traffic sources. And here you'll be able to filter these, right? So like, for example, here I can actually choose from my, these are automatically show up. These are from Google Ads, okay? Okay, and then source, for example, here, I can do Facebook, should show up here. So there you go. So anybody that's visited from Facebook, I can create that segment, and as long as they're a large enough audience of at least 1,000 people, then I can import that essentially into Google Ads, and it will show up inside Google Ads here. So, again, when you go to your Google Ads account, you'll get an audience manager. And then you can go to your remarketing audiences, right? And you can actually see your audience sources as well here. So you can see there's some lists that were created within analytics here, okay? So it just shows that, this has been active. You want to double check that. And these are the same ones that we were just looking at inside analytics, okay? So there you go. So these are the last 7 days, for example. But again, you want to have these linked. So there you go. These are the ones that I want to show you here. So all users 180, all users 540, all users 7 days. This is where you can see that, okay? And look, source Google Analytics. So these can be imported. As you can see, there's a decent YouTube ads size for this. So that's the most important thing. And then, Google is smart at telling you if it's too small to serve. For example, this one doesn't have 1,000. So once it gets to 1,000, then boom, we'll be able to serve our ad there and potentially get the campaigns to fire. So these may not even fire in terms of the audience. But in terms of, again, the audience definitions, you can do a whole lot here. This is just kind of tip of the iceberg that we're showing you here. For example, this one is good to use if you have different pages on your site, right? So like, for example, and you can edit here. Let's see. All right, so case study. Let me see, I think we have a book one or schedule somewhere. Okay, here we go. Like people who visited, for example, your thank you page. Okay. So I can create this one here real quick. And let's see, users in the last 7 days. So this is, okay, well, we need to kind of edit this and remove a lot of the, there's some UTMs here that we need to remove, but let's see if we can just take this out right here. I'm sure the numbers will be different. It's a lot of parameters here. Okay, that should just about do it. Let's see, let's hit apply. Okay, there we go. So we have people there. So obviously this is not the best example in terms of like the thank you page, but you get what I mean. So like if you have other offers, you know, let's say you want to target people who have just, you know, you just sold them a $7 tripwire again, right? And let's say 500 people bought that from you, okay? Well, you can actually create a site there, or you can create this audience definition based off of that, import it, and you'll be able to leverage that on Google Ads. Once you get to 1,000 purchasers for those $7 tripwire right there, then boom, now you have a segmented list that you can use for your warm campaigns and be able to target these individuals so you can sell them your higher ticket items, okay? So definitely leverage this, guys. This is, you know, a powerful way to segment your audiences, your warm audience specifically, so you can obviously get to your ROAS faster, and, you know, potentially combine that, you know, the use of analytics with that, and again with Facebook as well. So again, if you have a Facebook funnel, you can do that here. Okay, you can certainly do that here. The ideal thing is for you to create for this web property, right? To have this analytics account, you can create another property, and this would just be people in your Facebook funnel, people that are visiting just from your Facebook ads. And you can just follow that the same process here, and you will be able to target people from both ends, right? So people who visited your, let's say from your Google Ads ad, you know, they visited your page from your Google Ads, you can actually retarget them on Facebook. That's what a lot of people do, right? They do remarketing on Facebook. Well, you can do vice versa as well with YouTube ads, right? People who visited from your Facebook ad, boom, retarget them with your YouTube ad. You can be really deliberate with that, okay? So that is pretty much how you combine the use of Facebook ads with Google ads the best way. You know, another thing to finish off the video is just, you know, look at what audiences and keywords are performing well inside Google search and display, okay? So, you know, we have some accounts, some clients that they're already doing search and display. So what we'll do is we'll go inside those campaigns that are driving the sales or driving conversions, and we'll break down the keywords. We'll look at, okay, you know, it looks like their branding keyword is pretty powerful. So let's take some of their branding keywords and let's plug them into a YouTube keyword campaign just on their brand, right? And that has worked in the past for us. Another way is, you know, if we're seeing that they have display accounts as well, we'll take a look at the remarketing, and we'll see what remarketing audiences are working for them on the display side, and we can potentially isolate them in their own campaign, okay, and show them the YouTube video as well, YouTube ad. So, you know, these are audiences that you can grab and start testing them accordingly, and they tend to work really well on the remarketing side. Okay, so so there you have it, guys. This is pretty much the bottom line here. You know, depending on what type of offer you have, depending on the funnel that you have, you can certainly leverage tools like analytics, your Facebook ads, visitors, right, your traffic, in order for you to generate high quality prospects and generate sales, right? Those users that are really on the edge, right? They're ready to seal the deal. You can leverage these tools in order to get in front of those users. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions about audience definitions, about how to use analytics, feel free to leave a comment below. We spend a lot of time on analytics and reviewing the data so we can make some data-driven decisions on our campaigns, and so we can obviously scale offers to the moon. So Feel free to leave the comment below. Remember to like this video, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, get notified when we drop some more YouTube ad videos for you. We'll see you on the next time.